Hi, everyone. This is the Monday, April 5th, 2021 meeting of the Cube localization subgroup meeting. And as we know, we run under the Code of Conduct guidelines, so please let's all be nice to each other. And this meeting's being recorded. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the agenda. And I'm going to go ahead and put the meeting document in the chat so others can have it. To everyone. So there's that, and I'll pull it up. Okay, so we've got a short agenda, I think, today, but let's just go through real quick, go through some open work items. One of the things that we had from the previous meetings was a need to update documentation of the lsync.sh script in the README markdown of the script folder. And so thanks Tim and Sun Tzu and for coming for reviewing, but that looked like it was done, and it was done well, Tim. I read that. That was perfect. So that was great. And then the next thing I had is also for Tim is checking on the status of the open issue. So making changes approval by the SIG localization teams. So Tim, I saw that you opened the issue, which is no, it wasn't you who opened the issue. It was somebody else opened the issue, but you've been commenting on it. What is the status of that?
My idea is to use symbolic links, and I've opened a pull request to do that. So where you
I'm sorry, you opened a pull request to do what?
To use symbolic links. I'll explain how that works.
Nice. Okay, so you got symbolic links.
An English language TOML file and a Korean language TOML file and an Italian TOML file. You still do. They're moved to a different location inside the data directory for convenience.
Okay.
Each of those is in its own directory. So there's a directory for German, a directory for Korean, a directory for Japanese. And that means they can each have an owner's file that the test infra recognizes.
Tim, that's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's awesome. So, so everybody gets what they need. They'll have their own owner's file, and when they're updating, it's just symbolic links to the real ones, correct? And life is good.
It may cause problems for people on platforms that are not very POSIX. So Windows localization contributors might have problems. I have no Windows system to test with.
Okay. All right. We'll have to see, but I think it's worth a try, right? We'll see what happens. I mean, symbolic links are pretty universal, right? That's a pretty common thing to do.
And you'd only need that if you are creating a new localization. If you are updating an existing localization, you don't need to know what the symbolic links do.
Not at all, right? It's just magic happening beneath the scenes, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
And obviously the repo. Oh, this is awesome, Tim. So there's a PR. It hasn't merged yet. Is that correct? It's under review.
I opened it about an hour ago. Yeah, 1 hour ago, according to GitHub.
Okay, so okay, this is great.
And in the chat for people who like reading links from chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
27408 is the pull request.
So I already put it in the meeting note.
Soko's already put it in the meeting agenda doc, so that's great.
Thanks, Soko. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Korean team, localization team have waited this kind of improvement, enhancement around 1 year. 1 year. It is very nice enhancement for us. Thank you, team.
Tim,
I'm really pleased to empower localization teams to do their own thing.
Tim, you're going to be very popular. you're going to be a very popular person. So thank you so much. That's awesome. That's a great solution. So as soon as it merges, we'll get the word out. And Soko, what we need to think about is after it merges, the best way to document this, right? We'll think about the best way and where to document this so other teams are aware of it. So we'll worry about a documentation, but this is awesome, Tim. This is great. You got to come more often.
Actually, team already provided some documentation as well in this document, in the guide for localization. So maybe I can review for the document.
Okay, yeah. Let's see what we can figure out. So, we'll get some documentation for when it's merged. But this is great progress. All right.
Good to hear. Yeah.
Tim, you got to come more often. This is great. All right. So that issue is on its way to being happily resolved. That's awesome. And then we'll go, I guess, to Soko's items. So Soko, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Brad. I have to share status of Korean localization. And first item is for the Korean localization milestone. And from the previous localization subgroup meeting, we have merged the 3 Korean development branches, KO 5, 6, 7. So we already finished it. And
Nice.
currently, we placed our work to be prepared with the Kubernetes 1.21 release. So we will wait it until master branch with 1.21 contents is ready, and release 1.21 branch is created. So we are waiting for that branches, and next branch will be dev 120 KO8. This base of this branch will be released 1.12.1 branch, and this branch is only for updating outdated translations. So we will check it and update it. And dev 1.21, yeah.
But you said you're going to call it dev 1.20-ko.8. Is that correct?
Yes, right.
Okay, but it's going to pull in stuff from the 1.21. Is that correct?
Right. That's mistake.
Okay, I got confused.
Yeah, thank you for correcting the mistake. Sorry, it was right.
I'm sorry? Did you want to share something?
I wonder, Soko, perhaps you're talking about backports. Are you talking about backporting localization fixes?
No, it is actually during localization job during KO 7 to KO 8. There will be some English changes. So for that English changes, we apply that to existing Korean document and update, and we apply it to release 1.21. Actually, it is the latest master at that moment. So we put it to there. Actually, we have to put it master branch actual. Yes, actually it is very confusing.
So the branch named release-1.21 will not really exist until, I believe, just before the 1.22 release.
As I know, it will be created in this week. Is that right?
I would not rely on that behavior.
Yeah, I think so. We will release Kubernetes version 1.2.1 release, and then we will merge dev 1.21 to master, right?
Well, I'm not expecting to have a release-1.21 branch. A branch with the name with a branch with the name release-1.21 might not exist when you want it to. It's not a thing that I think we guarantee to have available during the point of time when 1.21 is the primary, is the current release.
Yeah. I expected that branch will be created just before the dev 1.21 branch merged to master. I expected like this. Before we merge dev 1.21 to master, we create release 1.21.
The branch that we merge into master to release 1.21 is called a different name. It is called dev-1.21.
Yeah, dev, and it will be merged to master, right? Maybe I'm confusing. Let me correct the release version. I will check it again. Okay, I will check about it.
Well, I mean, how did you do it last time? So how did it work before for 1.20?
Yeah, I did similar way, but I'm confusing the number. Anyway, before new release to master, like dev 1.2.1, will be merged to master soon. And as I know, just before merge, we make a snapshot for that for master branch just before the master branch dev branch is merged to master. We make a dev branch for the snapshot. So I thought it is release 1.21.
We do that snapshotting, Soko, but the snapshot we make just before the 1.21 release will be called release-1.20.
Oh.
Does that sound right to you, Brad?
What's that?
I believe that the branch for the 1.20 release, just prior to 1.21 being released, that branch is called release-1.20.
Is it? Because
Oh.
I mean, I thought it was like the stuff we're putting in for 1.21, but it can't go into master yet because those features aren't available yet. And that's why it would be 1.21. And
The branch you
then,
just described
yes,
about the new features is called dev-1.21.
isn't that
Sorry.
what Sogo's talking about though?
It was my mistake.
Yeah.
Release 1.20 is right.
Okay. So where are
Yeah,
we
it's
fixing it?
not created yet, and it will be created soon, right?
Okay, so let me explain what the branch is called after the release when we have added the 1.21 features. So after the release, 1.21 is out. The website is now documenting 1.21 features, and we're blogging about it and so on. The branch that has that content on it is called master.
Right.
Right.
Because you refresh the master.
Yeah, if you want to find the 1.21 content, it will be on the master branch. The dev-1.21 branch we can delete because we do not need it anymore. But if you want to read the documentation for 1.20, we publish that from a branch called release-1.20.
Right.
This doc is making more sense to me now.
Sorry, there was I introduced lots of mistakes and confusion. Yes, Tim's explanation is correct, and I agree. I changed the confused release version like this. Did it make sense?
Okay, now we got it right? So your dev.120 KO8 is based on release.120 because that had the new stuff for release 120, because you wouldn't want to be putting 1.21 into a 1.20. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay. And then for 1.21-KO1, you can go after, you'll go after it'll come from the master branch, because Tim's saying, hey, it'll be after when we cut over and we've moved all the 1.21 features into master. Tim, did I get that right?
That sounds about right to me.
Okay. Okay, we just had to get our numbers lined up. No big deal.
In terms of
Okay.
purpose, I believe that the purpose of the branch dev-1.20-co.8, the purpose of that branch is to round out any remaining items that happen between recurrent freeze and the release date. One or two things might change, and that is what the purpose of that is to catch the last few things. Very thorough.
Actually,
Or is it
someone
just the list of the things they have like a list of things they're trying to get translated? Isn't that just like them finishing the list SOCO of what they wanted to get translated?
this release KOA, in case of KOA, we it is for release 1.20. And sometimes people might want to see the previous version. Even in the previous version of a website, we hope to align with English document. So that's the reason why we try to outdate the content for Korean to align with English in the release 1.20 only. And some content will be applied to 1.21 KO1. Some content will be applied to that branch as well.
Right. So if I understand this correctly, dev 1.21-K0.1, its base will be the master branch after the master branch has the contents from the 1.21 I don't know what the name of the branch was, Tim, when it's got the features. Is that dev branch,
That's
I guess?
dev 121.
Dev 121. So I think that's what happens there. And that'll be the foundation for the 1.21. The 1.20-K08 was just more, I thought, just more translations, and what they were worried about for getting a little more of 1.20 translated, right? They, if I understand SOCO, how the Korea team does it, you kind of have these little sprints, right? Where you say we're going to do these items, then these items, then these items. Is that correct, SOCO?
Right,
And
we need to update like this
okay.
again. So actually, when minor version has been released for Korean localization team, there will be lots of updating job. So KO1 is or maybe we need lots of contributions for this branch. And as you know, we don't close our milestone branch unless the updating outdated translations. Yeah, it is main job for Korean localization team.
So when you say updating outdated translations, that's where you've run the tools and it said, hey, these pages have changed, right?
Yes.
And so that gives you your list of things that need to be retranslated because the pages changed from the previous release, previous, I guess, branch. Is that correct, SOCO?
Right.
Okay. So Tim, they're constantly running the tools, figuring out what's changed from the previous branch that they were working on, and then they know what they need to go fix in that branch, I believe.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. That's all for the sharing Korean localization milestone, and we hope to share new Korean team member,
Great.
new GitHub Kubernetes organization member has been added based on the Korean localization contributions. His name is Ji-hoon Seo. Actually, he's my colleague. So I
Fantastic.
invited him.
Okay, well, tell him welcome. I guess he wasn't able to show up for today, but tell him welcome, please. Always good to have another translator.
Okay. Yeah, that's all for the Korean localization update. Thank you.
Great update. Thanks for coming on a holiday. Okay. Tim, did you have anything that you wanted to bring up for today?
Nope. Thanks, Soko.
Yeah. Well, thanks to him, and thanks to you for your innovative symbolic link solution. We've been dealing with that for quite a while, and hopefully we'll see that merge soon, and we'll get the word out. Oh, do you have another issue, Soko? Zoom account.
Yeah. Actually, I hope to check if if we have any chance to support it with some Zoom account for localization teams.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, some localization teams are actively open and discuss from through Zoom video conference, video meeting. Yeah, and in case of Korean localization team, we have our own account. Actually, it is my account, but maybe I will be changed. I mean, I will be released from Korean localization team leader one day.
Mm-hmm. Freedom.
Then, yeah, someone needs to provide Zoom account, and I'm not sure we can officially support it with some Zoom account. I hope to check.
Well, yeah. So
yeah.
yeah. So what we're currently doing, and we'll see how well it scales, is we have the one SIGDocs Zoom account, and we are then able to share that Zoom account, and we're supporting what I believe, when I last looked, about 4 different meetings. There's the main SIGDocs meeting, then there's the SIGDocs localization meeting, and then at least one other translation team, I believe, is using it to host their meeting. And so what we do, and we'll see how well it scales, is, you know, you go talk to the chair, Jim Angel, and you ask to have the user ID and password, and you say when your meeting is hosted, and then you can host your Zoom meeting. Now that's worked so far, I guess, because we've made sure that 2 people haven't needed the Zoom meeting at the same time. So I think it comes down to, and we probably need to formalize this, Tim. I'm thinking to make this, I think we've just been getting lucky. We'll have to, you know, talk about, you know, what are the policies for when we can share the Zoom accounts. Maybe it's on a first come basis. Eventually, so far it's been okay until we get two translation teams that want the Zoom account at the same time, right? Then the wheels fall off.
Well, I mean, I don't know about the mechanics of how it do it, but in terms of, is the Kubernetes organization willing to pay for some more Zoom seats? Then I'm confident the answer is yes. There's a good reason to do that if need be.
Yeah. So what I can do is, I'll take the to-do on this one, Soko. I'll open up the issue and see, for the near term, is there a near-term solution? You know, can we just share yet again with one more account? But I think we want a more longer-term scalable solution, and potentially maybe there's an extra Zoom account. So I'll open up the issue on that one, Soko. Let me put the let me fill that out. Action item, Brad to open issue to discuss policies for sharing existing Zoom account and conflicts versus requesting new Zoom account, new Zoom account to support the localization teams. Did I capture that correctly, Osoko?
Sure, that's
Okay.
nice.
Yeah,
That's what I expected.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So I will take that one.
Urgent. Yeah, it is not urgent problem, but yeah, if it can be resolved, I think
Right.
not for the Korean localization team, other teams maybe can be easily teamed up. So it is this kind of support will promote other new initialized teams, initiative teams.
And Soko, can you just put in the document what day and time the Korean team meets? Because the first thing I would see is is there any conflict with existing meetings? So what time UTC on what day?
Sure, but I need translate.
Yeah, I do appreciate you translating it, Soko. What a great problem we're going to have, Tim, that we're getting so much growth in localization. We got to actually worry about meeting conflicts.
Yeah, it is good to have. So, I mean, people who talk to me informally and anecdotally comment on how good the localizations are, and it's often exceeded people's expectations, and that is down to many contributors putting in good work.
Yep. Yeah, we got a lot of dedicated people putting a lot of work, and they've all built some good tools too to help streamline their process, which is great. Um, so let's see, we got that captured. Okay. The SoCo Google translates a little slow today. Korean. Okay.
Hello.
UTC.
Hopefully
Yeah,
it is right.
1300, but on what day?
Thursday.
Thursdays. Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yes, Thursday is right.
Okay. Yeah, because and then the other process is also mention. So do you have the meeting on the official calendar? Because the other thing is to get meeting on the shared calendar.
We share our own calendar, as I know. Actually, but
Like does your meeting show up on the SIG Docs calendar?
no.
So that's kind of nice. I think some of the other ones do. And then, I mean, do you have your meeting show up in in the list on the SIG Docs list? I'm gonna go check real fast. Yeah, your meeting is there. Okay, so your meeting is showing up. All right, so you did do that. So you did do that, which is great. Which is your meeting is showing up here. This is the important place it needs to show up. So it's there. But it's not on the SIGDocs calendar, which it's nice then, people get a reminder or what have you, if they go look at the calendar. So I'll follow up on that as well, Soko.
Okay.
So yeah, if I go back to, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I think we need to check our June calendar, and actually in the previous Korean localization team leader Jun이
Okay.
made this calendar, and he is keep supporting changing the date for the schedule.
So well, let me ask this. I mean, maybe you like it the way it is. Maybe that's not as an issue then. Do you like having your own calendar? Is that easier? Does the meeting move a lot? I mean, the nice thing about the SIG Docs calendar is if the meeting isn't moving a lot, you don't have to bother the chairs. I set the meeting, like my meetings every Monday, and it's not too much overhead between myself and Jim to make sure the calendar is updated. But if your meeting moves around a lot, rescheduled a lot, maybe it is optimal. Maybe it's better to have it on your own calendar.
Let us think about it, and
Sure.
maybe it has been issued based on sharing the Zoom account. So we will think about it
Okay.
as well.
Okay. So let me rewrite this. Korean team to discuss if they need to get their meeting on the SIGDocs calendar. How's that?
Nice.
Fantastic. Thursdays bi-weekly. Okay. So yeah, we can track down the policies for sharing the Zoom account. I'll get that on the agenda. Anything else for today, Soko?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
That's all? Okay.
that's all.
Oh, we made a lot of great contributions to the meeting today, Soko, because we are short staffed. So good job. Tim, anything else for today, or are we all set? We'll get some time back.
No further questions, Your Honor.
No further questions, Your Honor. What is the one British phrase someone taught me? Cop to the gov. Is that right? Did I get that right? Cop to the
I do not
governor?
recognize that one. We don't
Oh,
actually
okay.
say Your Honor in Britain. We say your worships or my lord in
Your
court.
worship,
But
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, Henry Nash, who's over, well, he used to be in London, but now he lives in a beach house somewhere. But yeah, he had told me a phrase that he used a lot about, I got to cop to the gov on that one. But I guess that's not universal. Maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. A little bit older. All right. That's all we have for today. So thanks everyone for attending.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All
Take
right.
care. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye. Stop recording.